Let's go over my offensive tier list when it comes to recruits and their tendencies / archetypes in college football 25. If y'all enjoying the content so far, make sure I like, comment, subscribe, man. We doing everything on the channel. Got the temple rebuild. Make sure I go check that out. Follow my Twitch, follow my YouTube. We starting streaming. We're going crazy. So before we get into the list, I kind of just want to break down what we're doing, man. We're ranking the tendency, archetype, whatever you want to call it, for every offensive position. So you see here for the quarterbacks, you got the scramblers, you got the athletes, then you also got the field generals, and then you got the improvisers as well, and that's what we're ranking in this game. All right, let's hop over here on the website and let's look at the tier list I made. We got great, good, mediocre, and then we got no, man. No, I'm not recruiting that archetype. No, I'm not bringing in that player. And then also mediocre. I think mediocre sometimes get a very bad rep. Listen, mediocre is just average, man. It's just, it's normal. It's not great. It's not bad. It's right there, even kill in the middle. So mediocre sometimes get a negative rep. But let's go ahead and hop in. We're going to start with the quarterback position, and we're going to start with improviser, and we're going to go ahead and put the improviser in the good spot for me, man. I like improvisers. That's probably my second favorite archetype out of all the quarterbacks. But I don't think it's the best. I don't think it's going to be better than my number one, my great option, which is going to be the scrambler. And I'm going to specify even more. The athlete scrambler is great in my eyes, man, because he can also play another position. And then they usually come in with like some crazy speed. Seems to come in with a lot higher speed and even throw power than just the normal scrambling quarterbacks. So I'm going to put that in a great category for me. And then field general, I'm going to also put in the good category, but I'm putting the good category behind improviser. I think field general, especially if you get a 4 or 5 star, they're going to be playable, man. They're going to be a good player. But I think, for me personally, I like these scrambler and improviser a little bit more. Next, we're going to move over to the running back. I can't lie, man. My opinion on the running backs and their archetypes have changed since the start of this game, man. So we're going to start with the elusive back. And let me know down in the comments if I'm tripping. I know y'all going to let me know for sure. But I'm putting the elusive back in the mediocre category, man. For me personally, like I said, I used to be all over the elusive backs. But unless you get a real good 4 or 5 star elusive back, I don't know. I just feel like they leave a lot to be desired, man. I feel like at times you kind of better off picking a athlete quarterback or an athlete wide receiver over at running back if you want a good elusive back. Because at times they just don't come with super good speed, man. So I'm going to put them in the mediocre category. For receiving back, and this is where my opinion changed, man. Receiving back might have been that mediocre category for me a couple weeks ago. But listen, you find you a nice one. They're going to come in with some speed. They're going to come in with some playmaking ability, catch the ball at the backfield. And I like them, man. I like them now. I think that archetype is actually very solid. So I'm going to put them in the good category. But this might be surprising, man. I think people sleep on the power back. If you find yourself a gem power back, one of them ones, they could come in with like an 95 to 96 speed. Check out my Temple series, man. We got a power back with 95 speed in there, and he still got the high trucking, still got the high stiff form. He still got some juke move, spin move. Listen, they can do a little bit of everything. I will say their one downfall, the power backs, they're not catching that ball as good out the backfield, man. So it's always good to have a receiving back. Pretty much as your third down back or whatever. But them power backs, man, for me personally, them Derrick Henry archetypes, Peyton Hillis, man. Peyton Hillis, shout out to all my people that remember Peyton Hillis back in the day. But I love that type of archetype. That's my favorite type running back. Jerome Bettis, the bust, was my favorite running back growing up. So maybe that's why I'm a little bit biased, but I'm putting that power back as great. All right, so next, we're going to go to wide receivers, man. And we're going to start with the deep threat, man. I think that deep threat archetype is probably the best wide receiver archetype in the game. We're going to put that in the great category because, they're going to come in with some height, but most importantly, they're going to come in with some speed, man. This is how you get the 99 speed, 100 speed, 101 speed. I don't know if they patched them archetypes or them players coming in with 100 plus speed. But with that deep threat, man, speed kills in this game, man. Speed is such an X factor in this game. So being able to get a player that coming in, faster than anyone else on the field as a freshman, listen, and he's still tall. He could be 6'4", 6'3", 6'2". I'm going to put that as number one, man. Catching is still an issue with these players, man. Route running is still not great, but listen, they're going to get open because speed kills in this game. Next, for the wide receiver, physical, man. I consider pitting the physical wide receiver in the great category as well, but we're going to put it in the good category because they are very good, man. They are very good. You could get them coming in at 97 speed as well, man. You get a 6'5 receiver with 97 speed, that's the issue on the field, man. I'm going to plug in the Temple series again. We got a 6'6 receiver that came in with 94 speed. He came in with 94 speed, 6'6 true freshman, and he was a physical archetype, and he's having a crazy season right now. But these receivers are also very good, man. They come in big, strong. You can move them to tight end if you want. Listen, they some players, they're going to have some solid catching. Route running is going to be in an okay spot. So I like the physical archetypes. Now, this is where some people going to get mad at this, man. The route runner is going in the null category for me. It's going in the null category, man. I don't like him. I don't like him. Listen, I don't think route running is super important in this game because players get open based off speed a lot of times than not, man. Speed, release, being able to beat that press. So route running don't seem super important, especially when you consider, I won't say they all coming in at this small stature, but, right here we got 5'8", 173 pounds, man. This is a running back. This is a Darren Sproles type archetype, man. But yeah, a lot of these receiving backs do come in, more on the smaller side, not with great speed. So I'm gonna put them in a null category for me personally, man. If I recruit one, I'll recruit maybe a high 4-star, maybe a 5-star route runner. But I'm not gonna go out my way looking for any route runner archetypes for me personally. Next, we're gonna go to the tight end. We're gonna start with the vertical threat. And I'm putting a good category, man. I'm putting this in the good category because they got speed, they got some good catching. Their blocking is not going to be great, but it's not going to be great. It's going to be the worst out of all these tight ends, honestly. So, keep that in mind. But in the receiving game, that's where they're going to thrive, man. Now you got the possession. They're going to come in with a little bit less speed, some better hands, but they will have a little bit more blocking than a vertical threat. So I'm going to put that in the good category as well, but I'm putting it in the good category behind the vertical threat. Because I do think, both are usable. I'll definitely recruit both, a possession and then a vertical threat tight end. But the blocking tight end, it's a null for me, man. I'm not recruiting it, me personally. Especially not for a starter, man. If I need a third tight end, a blocking tight end, if we coming out with some, 12 personnel, 22 personnel, whatever, where we're gonna have multiple tight ends on the field, we running that ball, okay, then I'll recruit, some blocking tight ends. But in the passing game, they just slow, man. They slow. They Melaskis out there, and so I'm not recruiting them. They gonna be in a null category for me. All right, next we're gonna go with the O-line, man. The O-line, and we're gonna, group them all together into their 3 archetypes, which is power, pass protector, and agile, man. And this is tough, man. This is tough. All throughout my Temple series, I've been recruiting nothing but pass protectors because that's where we lagged, man. Our team was not good at protecting our quarterback. We was getting a lot of pass rush, and what I realized is they're mediocre. They're mediocre. They're coming in with low strength, man. They can't hold the block. Now when you try to run the ball, you're dirt, man. You're cooked because their strength's so low they can't hold any blocks. So they just getting blown back, man. They're getting pit on that backside. They're light in the ass. So, you can always find a good player at any position, any archetype, if they're a 5-star or a high 4-star. But on average, the pass protector, I'm putting in the mediocre category because they just not super well-rounded, man. Now, for the power, I'm going to put that in the good category, man. I like me a power O-lineman. They're going to come in with some strength, man. Like I said, the strength is what matters when it comes to holding their blocks. So, I like me a power guy, man. They might come in a little bit on the lighter side, same with the agile guys. But I do like me a power guy. And then next, the last pretty much archetype we're going to list on this one right here is going to be agile, man. I'm going to put agile in the good category, but it's going to be pretty much behind the power because, I'll recruit both, man. I have no problem recruiting the power or agile guy, but I'm a little bit hesitant when that pass protector comes up, man. I gotta make sure their strength is looking a little bit on the stronger side, man. You gotta check their credentials because they come in, with 74 strength sometimes, man. Like literally, I got a 4-star that came in with 74 strength, and strength don't really upgrade in this game from what I've seen, man. At least not on the O-line, not how I would want it. So just make sure you're keeping that in mind. I also think it is worth having, you know, at least a pass protector at left tackle, maybe having one at right tackle. I think it's worth, you know, you got 5 O-line positions, so I think it's worth having, you know, at least one of each archetype on your O-line. I think it's worth having that. But for the most part, I'm going at the, you know, the power and agile guys from now on. I want to make sure I say this because I know I'm going to get some comments like, you're tripping. I got a wide receiver, route runner, who's the best player in the league. He at 99. Listen, that's possible. If they're a 5-star, 4-star coming in, high 4-star, they're going to come in with a good overall. They're going to be a good player if they're a 5-star, man. It don't matter what their archetype is. I'm talking about on average, man. I'd much rather have a 5-star deep threat than a 5-star route runner. And that's what I'm getting at, man. If they was the same exact, you know, rating, what position would you rather have? And that's what I'm getting at, man. I hope y'all picking that up. Man, this should have been a pretty quick video. If y'all like this style of content, if y'all like this list, whatever, let me know down in the comments. Also, let me know if y'all want to see me do the defensive tier list of this same exact thing. I'll do the defense. I'll drop that ASAP. Just let me know if y'all want to see that. Appreciate y'all for watching. We on to the next one.